How was it? That's amazing then. So you actually completed.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, it's amazing. A real big accomplishment.
Yeah.
Well, 9-month course. I mean, that's a big accomplishment, I would say. And
Yeah.
How are you celebrating?
How did I celebrate? We made a crown.
Yeah.
And today I'm gonna make my first puppet for my show.
Wonderful.
And I mean, if anyone wants to make a puppet, you're welcome, you know.
Cool.
What else did I do? I found a trainer for my son on the way to school. That was the first thing I done the morning after.
Yeah.
He's talking to the guy who does exercise along the river and ask him if he wants to train my son, because every day we say good morning to him. But he agreed to train him, and he's like, he does he studied all the martial arts, and he's trying to find similar like Bob, but he's trying to find the root of all kind of thing. So that's nice, and Nadir likes it. He get up earlier and he goes and train with him for half an hour before he goes to school.
That's fabulous.
And all I need to do is paint his front room. Then, you know, we do exchange.
That's nice. Brilliant. I've got this ball here.
What is it? Coconut?
No, it's a ball, like a tennis ball.
Okay, hairy one.
Yeah, because if you can see,
there's a dog.
2 dogs.
Hello.
3 dogs.
3. So many.
Yeah. 3 dogs.
Abundance.
And that's the big one.
Where's the big one? Oh, the big one's right over there somewhere. Look at this, ready? The big one's right behind there. Oh, he's coming.
White one.
No,
nice.
Another one. There's another one. Yeah, look at this one coming.
Black.
Look at that. Yeah, he's a big dog. Go on, get Nadine. Look at that. He's huge.
Oh my God. Does he smell? Is he a smelly dog?
Yeah, this is a bit like one. He's like all over with his saliva.
He licks you.
Yeah.
Now, these 2 drive me mad because they get the ball and they bring it back every second. They bring the ball and they drop it on my lap, or look at that, they're waiting.
They want you to throw it.
Yeah, the whole time.
Okay, so you're gonna be busy.
Yeah, all day long. All right, we'll have to stop.
Stop now.
We'll stop that.
We play later.
Play later, yeah. Go to Nadine, not me, all the time.
So what is that place you're staying? Is there somebody's house?
Yeah, so it's a farmhouse. We found it on Airbnb, and it's in the mountains. You can see. Look at that. That's you can't see, but that's Morocco. Morocco is just in the distance. You can on the.
Oh my God! Can I just cross there?
Yeah. When it's not cloudy, you can actually see very, very clearly. We're on the mountain now, but just across, you can see the sea from here, and also the Morocco.
Can you pass from now to Morocco? What do you need to have?
Oh, I don't know. Probably a negative. I think just negative tests or something.
Vaccination even.
Okay.
Oh, vaccination. Oh, maybe vaccination.
I don't have that.
No, I wouldn't bother. Yeah, otherwise I would go. Otherwise, it's too much aggravation. Sure, why not?
Find out then.
Because you can get a boat from here, very easy. A boat. How long is it?
Can you
an hour?
ask?
Yeah, 30-minute boat ride. You can go to Morocco.
Can you ask?
We could ask. We could ask. Couldn't
Maybe
we?
I can meet you there.
Well, you're going to Morocco.
I want to, yeah, but I need to fix my daughter's passport.
Oh, fair enough. So get the ball.
Because my dad is from Morocco, so it's like.
Oh, he's from Morocco. Fabulous.
Casablanca.
Yeah, Nadine. She was in Morocco. She travelled there, didn't you?
I think there's always an echo when I'm talking.
Yeah.
Because you're next to each other, maybe.
Now, if I turn off,
Yeah.
let me go mute a minute, Nadine. Now try.
Okay, I'll try now. Yeah, we spent like when we traveled in our truck, we spent like half a year in Morocco. I loved it. It's like having there before.
Oh, never.
Oh, it's like, I love it. It's a bit like I always compare it a bit with India, but just in a small version of India. But also it's I don't know. It's just with the souks, the markets, and the I love it. I love all the little markets.
Let me know about places and stuff. I heard there's like a very arty place somewhere.
Oh yeah, what's it called? I forgot. Chef Shaun, maybe in the mountains. It's like Chef Shaun. Like
Chef
that's
Shaun?
really beautiful. Yeah, you spell it like CHEF and then CHOUEN. Chef Shaun. It's like that's really beautiful place. I love it.
Okay, so let's come off. Okay, so we'll maybe start because I think we've got a low show today. Dina's not feeling very well.
What's wrong with her? She wasn't well last time.
Yeah, she's still the same. She's no better. And I've got a feeling she's possibly got her yoga class to go to. She usually has a yoga class to teach after this. So I think it's too much for her.
Resting,
Yeah, she needs to rest if she's going to teach a class.
Collecting her power.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she can't afford to be sick. For sure.
No.
Okay, and then Harry. I think Harry's in the Lake District.
Oh wow!
I think I noticed he's gone there. So I'm not sure what he's up to.
It's in Facebook.
Yeah, we'll carry on. It'll be just a few of us. It's funny.
Direction. I don't mind to have direction on my own.
It's Actually, it's quite strange. Because this card is very powerful. Action. Many people have problems taking action. So maybe they're not coming today because it's like they've got to take action. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Me too.
Isn't it? How hard it is. People just don't take action. Sometimes they don't know what they need to do, number one. But number two, they just haven't got sometimes the motivation to take the action. So we'll see what this brings today. So we'll have a little discussion. So that's the card. You've got the card probably, Lamore, have you?
Yeah, my daughter picked this one up.
Oh, it's not a very good picture here, but yeah. So what is it? What does it mean for you?
You froze.
Oh, you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. What is that?
For me, it's just the different possibilities. It looks like he's holding a stick, so it looks like he's like a conductor.
Yeah.
And so it's like so he's on stage and he's got two little. Can you show me yours? Because I've got only the photocopy black and white.
Okay.
So he's got two shadows at the side of him. So it's like two different lights bring two different shadows. Three shadows. So I can imagine he's got three lights. This is like the sun I saw today. Got three spots of light. And then to the different options, I think first of all it's different option, but maybe it's different instrument. One got the music. The other ones look like a triangle, X, different letters. So like for me, it's like my acting, my art, so all different things that I do, different talents or different, and how do you do all this? It's all in the air and it's gonna fall down, it's not gonna stay up in the air, it's gonna form a shape, it's all gonna turn into something by magic. By the focus, I think, focus and direction, That's what it means to me.
That's cool. Yeah. So for me, it's like also like a conductor. And for me, the different symbols are like different instruments that the conductor is, controlling or guiding, directing into an order. Like it's like an order, because if they don't get put in an order, then they don't sound too good. They'll create something,
Yeah.
but not such a nice, maybe not so nice. Like you said, they can fall down and they're going to form a shape. They're going to form something. They're going to create something. And I guess it's like if different ingredients, like if you're making a cake or a meal, and different ingredients just come together, they might be disgusting. If any ingredient just mixes together, it's maybe horrible. But if you know how to, use each ingredient in the right way, in the correct order, then you're going to make something beautiful. As long as you know what you're trying to make and you know the ingredients you need to use. So life is like this. If we want to create something, anything, then we just got to understand, like, what are the ingredients and how do I put them in the right order to make this something? So it's kind of interesting. And each of the letters and the symbols, different symbols on the instruments or the paper, and for me they represent just ingredients of the universe, like sound, shapes, letters, different ingredients. Spiral, there's a spiral in there as well, and they're just basic ingredients that make up everything in the universe. So if we can understand these key ingredients, it's like it's like cooking. You need to have salt, pepper, your basic ingredients. You don't necessarily need every ingredient, but you definitely need the basic ones to make basic flavor and everything you want. If you want to make bread, you need basic flour. If you have no flour, you can't make bread. So it's kind of, this is like the basic ingredients are needed. And then, of course, to make it special, you need the more detailed ingredients also, of course. But without the basic ones, forget it. You can't do anything. So the words, what words are you guys going to use today? Nadine, you can shout over, I can share.
I think motivation.
Motivation. Oh, that's a good one for this card. Motivation. And then more, how about yourself?
Determination.
Determination. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting, both words, because for me, this card is very much about motivation, to take action, and determination is another interesting, because what's interesting for me with those two words is motivation. Some people think, oh, I need to get motivated. I need to get energized, feel excited or high energy to do something. And also with determination, it's that, oh, I need to feel determined. I need to have this power. And it's really interesting you pick those two words, because I would have a different viewpoint. What I would say is, it's like, no, you don't need the key is not to get determination, is not to try to feel determined and not to try to feel motivated, because that doesn't work, because we think that's the key. We need to feel determined or be determined or feel motivated to be able to do things, take action. But I would say it's the opposite. If you can find, well, not the opposite. What I feel is those two words seem very difficult. They're challenging. So, oh God, I need to be motivated. Oh, that takes a lot of effort. I need to be determined. That takes a lot of effort. But in fact, it can be very easy if you know the steps, and each step is simple. For example, if you have all the ingredients to make your cake and you've got it there, you know exactly how to make it. It's very easy. You don't need to be determined or motivated. You just can make the cake. It's very simple. If you want it, if you want the cake, you make it. It's like you don't need to be motivated to make it because there's no effort. It's only when there's effort you need those energies. Like, yeah, you need motivation to stand up maybe and walk over and do the cooking, but you don't really, because again, when you actually realize the steps, simple steps, they become easy anyway. You don't need to even have determination in many ways. So it's a different way of looking at your symbols today. It's like, yeah, it's like if you want to go on stage, Limor, for example, or how would you use determination? Why do you want it? What would you give me?
I think the other word I would use would be focus. So
Focus.
even to make a cake, you need to just focus on that. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's different. That feels different, that word.
So it just means that like in the picture, you've got one option that is out of the picture. One, if you look at the cards, there's one that is out.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes you have to, you know, because it can be quite confusing if you got all these things in the air. So
That's true.
I guess you still need your focus. You know how to do it. Yeah, like you said, you need to know the steps. So like you might need to use somebody who can direct you or guide you.
That's true. It's like if you were climbing up a ladder or steps, you know, high up in the mountain, then of course if you need to make a lot of effort, then you need determination because it's tiring, and motivation because it's effort. But if it's not effort, if it's easy, if it's just an easy steps, then you don't need determination or motivation if it's very easy. Like going downhill, for example, you could go down steps and it becomes very easy, but you probably still need to focus. I would even say, like, even not focus, I would probably say even like clarity, being able to see.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful. Yeah.
Because when you can see everything clearly, it's like a bit like focus, isn't it? But it's like just being able to see, have clarity.
Yeah, it's just all this confusion in the head. That's what I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm saying goodbye to it now because it's a new moon and cutting cords with other energies, like really working on separating my energy with other people's energy. And just like focusing on clarity, have clarity. Yeah.
And the problem is with the mind, it's like you said, it's got so many different things. There's so many different options. There's so much information and data, you know, in our system. It's very hard to, focus. Actually, sometimes like, because there's so many things in our mind, you sometimes think, well, I need the determination because there's too many things. I need to really, you know, fight through and find it and focus.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's so much. But imagine if you could just if you could just see clearly, you know, the path. So you could have lots of steps going in all different directions. But if you can see the one very clearly, it becomes very easy because the other steps, they don't bother you. You're not getting confused by them. But the problem is because there's so many steps, you know, entwining, we're confused, like which one do I go to, which step? You know, you might see one step and then you can't see the next one because there's a million steps all together. And it's like, I don't know what step, because does this step, is this the right one? Is it going to take me over here or over there? Because I don't know. I can't see all the steps where they're going to lead to. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. Okay. It's amazing. It's amazing that's why we get so confused, because there's imagine there's an infinite, like billions of steps all together, very close. Is that how on earth am I going to see which steps I need to take? It's so messy. And that explains why sometimes we get so confused and then it becomes tiring because we don't know sometimes we don't know where to go. It's so confusing. It's very tiring for our mind. And we're not sure where to go. So we don't go anywhere. We procrastinate. But if we could just see the steps we need to take, it's the same as making a cake. If you've got 3 million ingredients and you've got no idea really how to use them, it's like, oh my God, this is going to be a crazy nightmare. It's going to be 1,000,000 to 1 that I get the right combination. And that's the same actually, because in life, it's a bit like that. I mean, the thing is, when we're babies, we learn slowly how to walk. You know, imagine now if you try to learn to, you know, do something you've never done, like ski or kite surf or something. It'd be quite hard, especially if you had no help. And there's a, you know, it's very hard. So the thing is, we've taken years to learn things like walking and opening a door, and we've learned how to do all these steps. Now they become very easy. So we need to apply this into our life as well. How, yeah. Let's have a look. So let's do it then. Let's do the exercise and see how we do. So this is the diagram. So basically there's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's like 9 lines going across. Yeah, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 lines, and they're like steps. They're our steps. 9 steps. And we're going to go from the bottom to the top. And at the top of our steps, so you want to write, you want to draw this, you want to write on a piece of paper. So,
Okay.
So we're going to fill it in. So draw your 9 lines. And then at the very, very top, you're going to, at the very top, you're going to have your word that you've chosen for today. It can still be any word you want. It can still be motivation or determination or focus, whatever one you're choosing. Because the idea is whatever word you're choosing, we're going to learn how to get there, how to make a really good motivation cake for Nadine, and how to make a very good, whatever your word is. What is your word for today, Limo?
Mine was determination.
Yeah, so you're going to make a really good, powerful cake, a perfect determination cake. That's the idea. That's what we're going to go towards. So what we do is, if you go 3 up, 3 from the bottom, and write the word first step.
Just no. Hi.
Hi.
Nobody's showering at the moment, yeah? No.
No? Oh no. No, we haven't. No.
Nobody's downstairs. No, I think I'm looking. Yes.
Yeah, so the first step is 3 up. And then if you go another 1, 2, 3, you go to the big step. So the big step is like in the middle, it's 3 steps up. And then finally, near the top, another 3 up is the final step. Okay. Now you might wonder why I put the first step not at the bottom. I put it already 3 steps up. And this is amazing kind of phenomena that I notice people do, including myself, is we often don't do things because we think we know what the first step is. But in fact, it's not. It's not the first step. That's why we don't do a lot of things, because we're looking at the wrong step. Imagine if you try to climb up the ladder, but you could only see the high one, the one you can't reach. But you think that's the first step because you can't see any underneath it. But when you try and get on it, you can't. It's too high. It's not actually the first step. We just think it is. It's the only one we can see. So, for example, like, you know, you may say, okay, when I get out of bed in the morning, maybe the first step is to just get out of bed. And then you think, I find it hard to get out of bed because actually that's too big, that step. The first step might be open your eyes. Or the first step might be breathe, you know, take some breathing or stretch your body. Yeah, exactly. So it sounds weird because we think the first step is just to get up, like pick our body up. But that's quite a big step sometimes for the body, especially if it's been, you know, sleeping for several hours. So this is kind of what happens. So what we're going to do is you're going to put, first of all, you're going to put the first step down that you think, whatever you think, the first step towards your symbol. How are you going to get better at your symbol? What would the first step be? Don't overthink too much. What would you think the first step to be? To become more determined, to become more.
Think positive.
Yeah, I could put that down as first step. And then we're gonna come back to that in a minute. We're gonna go to another step. We're gonna go to a final step. So that if you go to the final step and think, what is the last step I will do until that will make me perfect determination? Like what's that last thing? What that last action to make me completely motivated or completely determined? What do you think the last thing would be when you get to that point?
Buy new clothes.
Okay, so when you buy the new clothes, are you saying that will make you determined?
Yeah, that's the last thing I need to do.
Okay, write that down then as the final step. Nadine, what you got?
My final step would be I'm being motivated and then I do something.
Oh, that's interesting. So Nadine said her last step to get to motivation would be motivation. So that's not possible. Maybe you got it the wrong way round. Maybe you need to do something, and when you do it, you get the motivation. Sometimes we get it the wrong way round, don't we? Like if you actually do it, that might make you feel motivated. Like
yeah, that's what I think. If I say buying clothes, I can do the other steps easily because I think I'm going to buy new clothes.
Oh yeah. Just saying, just something to think about, because you'll get your last step before you get motivated. It might not be, I'm not saying it's to do something, but it might be something else. Maybe focus, could be like clarity as well. It could be, you know, passion or excitement. You know, maybe when you get excited, you get motivated. Or if you've got passion, or if you've got clarity, maybe then you've got the motivation that helps you with. And what's going to help you get the motivation? So don't listen to what I said, but I'm just giving a different view. I always like to give different viewpoints, turn it around. And then we go to the big step, the one in the middle. There's always going to be a big step on our journey, like one where we have to put more effort in. It's going to be the challenge. Because if we just take very small steps, imagine that we're trying to go to the moon and we take tiny steps. It's going to take us like 1 million lifetimes. There's going to be a point where we have to jump, or we've got to kind of push ourselves a bit more. So that there's somewhere in the middle, there's going to be a bigger step, one that's going to be the more challenging, the most challenging step in the journey. It might feel uncomfortable, you know, or think, oh, that's going to be a bit challenging, that one. Okay, what have you got, Limor?
For motivation, yeah, I think maybe booking a hall or something. So like putting my money where my mouth is or something, or finding a date for my motivation, for my determination.
Oh, I see. Okay, and that'd be one of the hardest things for you to do.
Yeah, because that means I've got a deadline.
You've made a commitment.
Yeah, make a commitment.
Okay.
That was my other word I sent you.
Yes. That's yeah. I could say something about commitment that I learned over the years. Also, I'll share it because it might be useful. And it's like it was very powerful for me because I went to this course many years ago. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. I think so.
Yeah.
I went on this course, and the guy said to everyone, there were 200 people, and he said on the course, he said, right, come back Monday to finish the course. It was a 3-day course. And one woman, she stood up and said, I can't make it. He said, why? So she goes, because I've got so many things, you know, I can't get a babysitter, I can't get this. There are many big problems. She said, it's impossible. And he said, the lesson here, he said, is make a commitment, promise in front of everyone, promise you're going to be here on Monday night. Anyway, she could not do that because she said, it's not possible. He said, and then he tried to explain. He said, the power of commitment is making the commitment. That's where the power is. It's not actually completing it. It's not reaching the goal. The goal is not the power of the goal. Making the goal is the power of the goal. Because when you make the goal, it gives you direction, it gives you focus, it gives you motivation. And he said, when you make that commitment, you're going to do something. He said, you'll be amazed what happens sometimes, like magic. He said, but if you don't make that commitment, you know, of course you're not going to do it because you're saying, I can't do it. In fact, you're making a promise that you can't do it in many ways. So it's amazing. So he explained. So after like 30 minutes, like she kept on saying, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. Because she thought it's impossible. And he eventually, she said, okay, I'll make the promise. I'll come, even though she didn't believe it. And she comes back on the next day. And he said, what happened? And she goes, well, I was lucky. Something happened. Somebody did the job. It was like, he said, exactly. And that's the point. He said, if you couldn't come back, that's okay. It doesn't matter, but make the commitment, you know, because the energy then is there. And you've got more chance of something happening if you make the commitment. So very powerful, just making the commitment. And if you don't do it, it doesn't matter. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's practicing making the commitment. That's the practice. And what I think is, what we find is the more as we practice that and things happen, it gives us more power. Like if we make a commitment and we do it, and then we think, okay, that's validated myself. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Sometimes we have to prove it to ourselves for some time until it happens more powerful. So that's interesting always. So you've got your big step. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try and fill in the missing steps. Okay, so the way we do this is, see, it's funny, isn't it? Because you think you can see the steps now. You can see the 3 steps kind of go together. They work together. Like the first step, then the big step, then the final step. It's in the right order, yeah? It's in the correct order, isn't it? If you mix them around, it would be the wrong order. Like you couldn't do the final step at the first, if you look at your step, or you couldn't maybe do the big one straight away. So it makes sense so far. So we've got like an order so far. But the problem is there's many missing steps. So again, the same thing, if you're climbing up the mountain and you can see the first step and the big one and the last one, that doesn't mean you're going to do it because there's many steps missing. So you can't go jump from one step to the next, it's too big. So again, we need to make those steps easy and easy enough to do. So if we go below the first step, the one below what you've written underneath it, what is the step that goes underneath it? Think about it. What step will you do to take you to the first step? So in other words, the minus first step. Have a think. What's that step? So when you, yeah.
Well, to get to thinking positive, what do I need to do?
Thinking positive is your first step, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what step will come just before? What's going to help you to think positive?
I think I need to do like clearing negativity.
Write it down. So what you're saying is,
Yeah.
if you clear negativity, that will help you then be able to be positive thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
I'm now thinking about motivation, for example, regarding yoga.
okay. Motivation
not
regarding
motivated.
yoga. Yeah.
I'm not motivated to do my yoga. at the
What's your
moment.
first step then? What did you write?
To find out why I'm not motivated.
Oh, to find out why you're not motivated. Okay, so what can you do to help you find out why you're not motivated? You see, Nadine said her first step is to find out why she's not motivated, but this is the problem. She doesn't know how to do that. You haven't got a step. There's no step before it. You can't just say, I'm going to find out what was it?
I'm not motivated.
Why I'm not motivated to do yoga. You need the step before it. Because if you could do that, you would just do it. You would just do it. You'd be able to find out right now, but how are you going to find out? What's going to help you find out? See, Nadine's looking at me blank, like, because exactly, that's why you haven't done yoga for a long time, because that's exactly, you don't know what's stopping you. I mean, at least you've identified now that you're maybe thinking, you need to think in a different way. So that's good. By doing this exercise, you've now noticed that you need to be able to do that first. But it's still not working for you because you don't know how to do that. So how are you going to do that? Find out what's...
Maybe find out the benefits.
Find out the benefits.
Gives me yoga.
Okay, wait a minute. So finding out the benefits, is that going to lead you to the first step? Not quite, not exactly. No. So maybe that would be a later step, finding out the benefits of yoga first, or maybe you need to find out what's stopping you, like you said. So how are you going to do that? Are you going to look on the internet? Are you going to think about it? You know, you're going to just do nothing.
You.
You're going to ask me. Okay, that's fine. You can ask somebody. Try and get some information. Exactly. So that's great. And now, so Limor, what's your like first step?
My first step was thinking positive.
And then underneath that was?
Clear negativity, but I changed my mind.
Go on then.
I just thought, yeah, like I like what Nadine said about yoga. I just thought maybe just do an action. So actually, this negativity, I don't need to give it more energy. Just put energy into what's working, like work on my body, for example.
Oh, I see.
Like 5, because sit up, like when you get out of bed, I did go back to bed after, but I just did 5 sit-ups because that's what my son doing now. Like first thing is you get out of bed, just do 5 sit-ups and then go back to bed.
Yeah. Okay, so hang on.
But it's just a little step to kind of feel positive. It's just doing something that is positive. Yeah.
So what you're going to
like
do
a
is,
symbol.
So what are you doing? What's your first one there?
The first step would be maybe, yeah. Maybe I can put 10. It's quite easy. Maybe I sit-ups.
Sit-ups, okay. So, and then are you saying that will lead you to the next step, which is not feeling negative or something, whatever you said?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And then go one below that. What do you need to do to make that one happen? What step do you need to take to make that one happen? Like to do those sit-ups or whatever you're going to do. You see what I mean? So even suddenly the doing the sit-ups or something is okay, but actually, so how are you going to do that? You're not going to just, you might just do it. You might just do it, but just think about it. Is that easy just to do it? Or is there something you need to do to help you just do it?
Yeah, it's kind of a cycle. You need to think positive to do it, kind of thing. So
oh, okay. So maybe okay, I understand. So oh right, yeah. So do you need to think positive first, and then that will help you do it? And then when you do it, that will help you with the negativity.
Yeah.
So it's very logical.
So it's quite difficult to kind of see what's coming first, but it's just breaking it down.
It doesn't matter. The point is you've got to the important thing is the one at the very bottom needs to be easy, something you can definitely easily do. That's the one in the right order, the one that's easy for you to do.
Okay. The easiest thing to do is to do sit-ups. Doesn't matter what you think, you know. It's just getting out of bed, do your sit-ups, and then or whatever, you can do yoga or meditation, but it's like, you know, do something that's for your body, you know.
My daughter, she had a good
connect to your body.
My daughter taught me a good technique. She said for doing taking action, like getting out of bed in the morning, you know, getting up early, doing your work, whatever. She said she found out some science or psychological kind of science. And she said something like, if you don't get up within how many seconds was it? I think 5 seconds, something like this. It was 5 seconds. It'd be very hard to get up again. You know, you're then fighting. She said, so she realized that. She goes, if she doesn't get up in that 5 seconds, she's not going to be getting up. So I sometimes practice that, and I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I don't get up. But I don't mind, because I just do it again. I try again. But it's my step, you see, it's my step. And then I'll do it again when I'm ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, and I get up before the 5. And if I that's my step, I try and practice. It doesn't always work, but I must be honest, it kind of, it works better than just putting my alarm on, you know, another 10 minutes later or this kind of thing. I mean, I don't normally need to get up in a rush usually anyway. So I tend to, when I wake up, I do stretching. Because for me, I do it while I'm in bed. I'm very lazy, so I can't get up straight away. So I go into a passive stretch. I put my leg across another leg and I let my legs fall down, and my hips are now stretching. No effort. There's very little effort, apart from just putting my leg across the other one and then just let my body fall to one side. Or I put my hands behind my here and I just stretch, you know, and I just go like that. I don't even have to put any effort into it. I just put my arms in positions where it's naturally stretching, or under my back. I get it under my back and I'm lying there and my body's stretching. And for me, this is wonderful, because it's a lazy, very, very easy, lazy way for me to stretch my body. So it's finding ways that really work for you, of course.
Yeah, I think I did this morning. I did the side stretch.
Yeah, because I used to think, I'm never doing the yoga in the morning because I don't want to get up and go over there and I'm cold. You know, I've got to sit down on the floor and start doing yoga. This is huge effort. So I decided I'll do it in bed. I'm cozy, I'm comfortable. I don't need to get up. I found it very easy. And I've been doing that for quite a few years now. And my body's become very good from it, because I've learned how to do more passive stretching, different angles, and amazing. And it's so easy. Often I fall asleep in the stretches. I'm so comfortable. I end up sometimes falling asleep a bit in the stretch, which I don't mind. Quite happy to do that.
This is blanket yoga. This is a breakthrough. You
Yeah,
should take it over.
I call it lazy yoga.
Yes, this is. I think you're gonna have a sell there. Actually, gonna sell out. This is. You gotta take it to the world, man.
Yeah,
This is amazing.
it really does work as well. Yeah. Okay, so Nadine, what's your first step?
I actually changed now everything around.
You've changed everything around. Mhm.
So
Isn't it? This is crazy, right? Think about it. Think about what you're doing. It's like you're having such big problems with 3 steps.
yeah, because actually I thought my first step was to find out where do I need more motivation.
So she thought it was to find out where she needs more motivation. Yeah, that was original. And now?
I think that's now the very, like, even under the first step.
So that the first step is how to find out.
Not how to, just find out.
Find out. But again, you're back to square one. That's the same question I'll ask you. How are you going to do that? Can you just do it? Like, bang.
No, that's just, I need to see, for example, yoga or whatever, and then getting information, ask different people.
So have you written those down as before that step?
Not before.
Right, so let me come back again. The first step that you've written down is find out, just tell me one more time. Find out what's stopping you or something.
Find out where do I need more motivation.
Where do you need more motivation? Find out, that's your first step. How are you going to do that? Give me one way you're going to do that. What's going to help you do that?
Getting information.
Getting information. That should go below. That one. That should be at the bottom. Getting information. And then one below that, how are you going to get information?
Yeah, I think that's what I did.
Well, I'm asking you to go bottom, bottom, bottom.
Maybe I didn't get it.
What's at the very bottom of your piece of paper? Before the first step, go right below it. What's the first thing you've written?
Yeah, where do I need more motivation?
Where do you, you're coming back in circles. You're telling me the same thing.
Like,
But now you need to go underneath that. It's like you need to get information.
how can I get first? Oh, I hear myself talking. I cannot.
Go on.
How can I first need to know where I want more motivation or where I need more motivation. I cannot.
I understand.
First get the information if I don't know.
Okay, all right. But how are you going to find out where you need motivation? That's what I'm asking you.
I'm just asking myself. So now I came
Well, ask yourself.
Yeah, and that's what I said. Maybe in yoga or like traveling.
So you're gonna so write down. I'm going to ask myself.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, that's fine. And is that easy for you to do? All right, that's fine. That's perfect. Come down to the one that you feel like I can do that now. The first step should be like you could do it now. If I asked you to do it now, you could do it now easily. Not a problem. And what's your very, very first step now, Limor? Oh, you're on mute.
Yeah, it could be the two things is maybe I think I like the idea of stretching. First I was thinking about counting to 5. I think like blanket yoga, under blanket yoga. I'm gonna have to open the door for my son because I forgot to give him his key.
Look.
1 minute.
She gave up on the ball. I wasn't doing the ball anymore.
Yeah, it's like, but she doesn't give the stick, so she will keep it.
Oh.
That's the stick I brought.
Oh yeah, she likes the stick.
And they are like, oh, we cannot play now. Yeah, where's the ball? Where's the ball? Get the ball. Okay. The big stick, it's very hard. No, it's like restricted.
That's good. Yeah, that's really good.
Because the other, it's like just one.
Well, babe. Just say something.
It's a bit like a bone.
Yeah, she probably thinks it's a
Yeah.
bone.
Yeah, you're happy.
Yeah, so today it really, usually I'm quite good with these mind steps. Today it's like, it feels a bit like going so.
Yeah, it's a funny exercise. It's like
No,
'Cause
for me
it's-
it's usually very logical.
it's very logical, but it really can scramble people's brains. It's just showing us why we don't do half the things we can do, we should be doing easily. Because imagine if this is actually like going on in your brain, like this is like a map of your brain. It's like, what the fuck? So I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, so yeah, so what's the one at the bottom, Limor, of your?
I'm thinking about the blanket yoga and the
Oh,
blanket
yeah.
yoga.
All right. So
Or
do you,
count to fives. Yeah.
so do you
I
need to
think-
do, which one goes first? Maybe both are needed, but which?
Yeah, I think just like, yeah. I think, yeah, count to five and then just the stretches would be good.
Oh yeah, that's good. Makes it a bit easier, doesn't it? It's all about making it
Yeah.
easier, making it simple. Like if you're going to get up now, again, make it very easy. You're going to move this, move this, move this, move this, move this, very small steps. And suddenly, because each step's easy, you do 10 easy steps and you're standing up. And it was easy because you've done 10 easy steps instead of trying to do one big step. Make them easy. Just make them smaller and smaller until they're easy. Counting to five's easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then stretching is easy. In bed. Okay. Yeah. So let's now go to the big step, the one in the middle, and go one below that one. Like put another step in below the big step. What step needs to take place so you can get onto the big step?
I think I will use the word like discipline.
So you need discipline to get onto your big step.
To commitment, yeah.
You need the discipline.
So when I kind of,
I get it. Yeah, you need the discipline. If you've got the discipline, that will help you make the commitment. The discipline to make the commitment. If you had discipline, you can make the commitment.
yeah.
Okay, and then go one below that one. What do you need to help you with the discipline?
Well, maybe it's the other way around. It could be the other way around. Maybe it's you need to have a commitment. You make the discipline.
Yeah, it could be both. You could have one above and below. Maybe sometimes.
So discipline, a commitment to make the discipline, to make a commitment. Commitment to make the discipline, to make commitment.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's the way to do it for you. Maybe that's where you've been going wrong because you've just been seeing the one commitment and the one discipline only. Like the only one way to use it, but now you've seen there's actually more. You can use it.
Yeah.
You can use
That was my son. Before I was the neighbor.
Oh,
Okay. But I left the door open, so now I can just go in by himself.
okay. So Nadine, what you got?
If I stick now with yoga, I don't know, I think I need to do it with yoga now because if I only have motivation, it's like confusing me. So with the yoga, it's like I need to make it comfortable because sometimes I think, I always found reasons. Now I think, I'm on holiday in the boat. I think, it's a bit too cold in the morning. So yeah, if I have a comfortable surrounding, then it makes
Comfortable surrounding.
then it makes it
Where's that going to be? What step?
before the big step.
What's your big step?
Do something like then
Or do what? When you say do something, that's
not like do yoga.
do
or,
yoga.
Yeah. Like,
Well, be clear, write it down.
yeah, I said like book a course, a yoga course, or book a flight or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, but you're
something
missing the
like-
point. It's like you mustn't be too airy fairy with your actions. Like
Yeah,
do
that's what I meant. If I just do motivation, then it's too like
yeah. So what I'm just asking you. So what's the big step?
do something. Also do
Yeah, do
yoga.
something is no good. Do yoga.
Yeah,
Okay, that's better. Okay, be clear about it. And then to do yoga, the step is
make comfortable surroundings.
make it comfortable surroundings. Yeah, makes sense. See, it's very logical. It's so bloody logical. Make it comfortable space. If it's comfortable, it make it a lot easier to go and do it. You know, it makes it easier. And then go below that one. What needs to happen to make your comfortable space, for example? Because if you're in bed, you can't get up and you've got to get up and make the comfortable space. Or do you do it the night before? Or do you always have it there?
Get up.
Yeah.
Get up, prepared.
You're going to get up to prepare the space to do the yoga. And okay, fair enough. How are you going to get up? See what I mean?
5 seconds.
Is that you need the motivation to get up in the first place, to make the space, to do the yoga. That's why some people have got the space already there always. They've always got the space there. So it's always comfortable. Wouldn't that be a lot easier?
It is. But it's a problem on the top.
Is it? Well, I don't understand really. Why is it a problem?
To have my yoga space there all the time.
Well, not all the time, not all day long, but you could have it. You could do it there in the evening. It might be easier to do in the evening than in the morning before you go to bed. You brush your teeth and you make the space. I mean, what are you going to do? How do you make the space comfortable? What are you doing? How easy is it to make the space comfortable? So that's a really good thing to do because you're preparing the space the night before. So that's already going to help you. You're already setting it in your mind that you've got the space ready for the morning. And that can really help motivate. It's like you planned it already. It's like, it's there, it's waiting for you. So anyway, just an idea. I'm not trying to coach you on this. I'm trying to get you to try and understand the process kind of thing, because this is a training. So, you've got to get you thinking about how this process works and really questioning it. Questioning, is that the right way round? Those steps, is that are they easy to do? Is there an easier way to do anything? Always find the easiest possible way. Okay, so let's go to the top step. Don't worry too much what they're looking like, and do the same with the final step. I think, have you done it already with the final? I forgot now. What step is before the final step? It's a real mind effing, this process. It's weird. It's so logical, but and simple. It's actually a mind mess. It messes the mind up trying to think about the simplicity of it. Isn't it? It's like really, it's so simple, but it messes the head up.
Yeah.
That's really good. Okay, so if you now look at all your steps, they should all, from the bottom to the top, you might need to do another step. I don't know if you've got any missing ones, then put them in. So always look at the one and then go underneath it. What's the step that will help you with the one above? And make sure and just check in. Do they make sense? Do they flow? Do they, if you follow one after the other, will they each lead to the next step easily enough? And if not, you can put more steps in. I've only given you 9, but you can squeeze more steps in if you want to. I mean, the most important ones are the first 3, to be honest. Because once you've got the first 3, you can then get, you've got those done. And that starts you on your journey. and then the next three and the next three. And, you know, if you get stuck at any step, then you know what to do. What do you do, Limor? If you get stuck, you know, you're not doing a step.
If you're not doing a step,
Let's say one of your steps, choose one of your steps somewhere in there, in the middle somewhere.
in the middle. Yeah, the commitment, discipline, commitment.
Just one. So commitment. So the one to help you with the commitment is what?
Discipline.
Right. So imagine you've got the discipline and you're still not making the commitment. What does that mean?
So
Or it's
I
not
need to
working.
make oh, I see. Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah, it's not working, let's say. You've got to the step discipline and now it's just not working. So what do you do? Is that the right step? Maybe not. Maybe it's the wrong step. If it's not taking you to the next one, it's the wrong step.
So there's many other little steps in between.
Could be, but it might be the wrong step. The discipline might not be something. It's not working. So it might not. You might not need.
That's not working for me. Yeah.
No, so it may not be discipline that you needed. You thought it might be, but it wasn't. So it might be just a whole different step altogether. Might be something different to discipline.
Yeah, maybe just doing nothing. Just
could be. Exactly. We don't know what it is. At the moment, you're thinking what it could be. You know, you're using your brain. You're thinking, okay, that makes sense to me. But the fact is, the real proof is when you do it. That's the real truth. We have to make a guess when we're doing the action planning. We're making guesses. You know, we're making guesses right now. They might work, they might not. But when we start doing it, if we get stuck anywhere, either it's the wrong step. It's like we've got to delete that and make a different one. It's the wrong one, or maybe it's too big. Maybe there's a step too big. The discipline is maybe too big still. Maybe the one before that has not given you the discipline to make the commitment. Maybe. I'm just saying, like if it was it's possible. But and the dean. So if that's the case, you make smaller steps. If you get stuck on a step, something's wrong. You either get rid of that step and change it to a new one, or you make a smaller one somewhere in there. And Nadine, give me any of your steps.
What, any of my steps?
Yeah, just give me one step, one of your steps.
For example, my final step would be better health or flexibility.
Right, better health. Better health, let's say, that's your final step, better health. So when you, is that like a step? See, that's an interesting one, isn't it? So if you think about that, what you just said, better health, is that an actual action, better health, or is that a goal? So this is very important. Action, steps, and goals. I like to view them, I like to include them all. I don't like to say you can't have that because it doesn't make sense. Better health isn't really an action, is it? Oh, I'm going to do better health. So what? Well, that's not an action. That's kind of a goal. I want better health. But what I would say is, don't think about that too much. I would look at them as all little goals. Every action is like a little goal, isn't it? Like every step is another little goal. Oh, I can get to that goal, that goal, that goal. Each goal's helping me move to the next goal. So you could kind of call each of your actions little goals, if you like. I don't like to make them too different. I don't get too into what's an action and what's a goal. But the important thing is to look at that step and can you do it? If you're not doing it, does there something need to go below it? So better health. What's below better health?
My routine.
Your routine. So you're going to do your routine, and that's going to lead to better health, which is going to lead to what's above better health?
No, that was but I said better health, flexibility, energy.
Yeah, and what's that going to lead to? Or is that your word for today?
No, motivation.
Motivation. And that's going to lead to your motivation. It's going to help you get, is that right? It's going to help you, be motivated. Because if you don't do that, you won't feel motivated, right? I guess. But if you did all that and you
Yeah.
and you're doing your exercises, your yoga, and your health's improving, that will motivate you. That's the funny thing, isn't it? That will actually give you motivation because you'll feel good about yourself. So that's really cool. So, for example, if one of those action steps, let's say you're, is it doing your yoga exercise? Did you say? Will lead to better health. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So let's say you're not doing your exercise. Let's say you do your exercise, but you're not getting better health. It's not helping you to go to the next step, better health. What's happening in that process? Why not? Because you've said it, you said you do your exercise, that will lead to better health. But let's say you're not getting better health and you're doing your exercises, but your health isn't got any better. What's going wrong there? What's missing? Or what's wrong? There's normally a step missing. If you're not getting to a step, it means a steps are missing below it. Right, so obviously the step of doing the exercising is not taking you to the better health immediately, right? Because you're not. That's the truth. So what needs to happen then? You're doing your exercises, but do you need to do something then before better health? There might be something there. Maybe, what could it be? I could think of a few things, possibilities. What would lead to better? Is exercise the only thing that's going to take you to better health?
I also wrote down discipline. That's not what you mean.
I don't know. I'm just kind of questioning. That's all. What could it be? It could be. Well, I don't know. Discipline. Not really. Discipline then wouldn't give you the better health, would it? Maybe. You're doing your exercises, and then what? Then what do you need to do if you haven't got the better health? Continue with your exercises.
Or maybe change different.
Change exercises. Maybe that's possible, right? If you're doing like going to the gym and you're doing let's say you're doing these lifting the weight with your arms, and your stamina is not getting better. Of course, it's not. That's not going to make your stamina better. That's going to make your muscles bigger here. So then you think, oh, right, okay, do a different exercise. I need to do running. It's the same thing in all our life. It's like sometimes we just don't know it. We're doing the exercise and we're thinking, my heart's not getting any stronger. But we don't know. We don't know that. We think we're doing exercise for our heart. Maybe we're not. We're doing it for our muscle. But we don't know that until we try. So so exactly. So you might think, oh, well, maybe I need to do different exercises or change them. Maybe you're doing exercises, which is really good, but now you need to do different exercises also, if you understand what I mean. Like if you just do little exercises like this with your hands, that's not going to maybe get you the better health. So you think, okay, now I need to do this. And then you're still not getting better health. So now I need to do this. So you're doing this, this, and this. And maybe that will give you the better health. Logical, right? It's logical. There's something missing. If you're not in the step, there's missing below it. That's all. Doing this is good. It's one of the steps. But then the one after that is this, and the one after that is this. So you're doing those 3 steps to get to your better health. Or it might be eating healthy, might be taking vitamins. That could be a step. You're doing exercise, but you're eating shit, or you're not eating healthy enough. Maybe you need to detox. You can't get healthier with all the exercise unless you detox your body. Maybe. I'm not saying, I'm just kind of giving you ideas what could be missing. All I'm saying is if you're not getting to the step, there's something missing, or 1 or 2 things missing, or 3 or 4 things missing. See, it's logical, isn't it? Now we're talking about it, and I'm giving you these ideas, Nadine. It's logical, right? It's like, well, yeah, obviously, Gary, but you couldn't think of it 5 minutes ago. It's like your mind's blank. And then you're thinking, oh, I'm not getting any healthier this yoga's rubbish, and you stop doing it. You lose your motivation. If you're not getting what you want, you're going to lose your motivation. So what's the point? Getting up in the morning when it's cold, you know, making the effort, doing the yoga, I'm not even getting healthier. It's like, bollocks to this. I'm going back, I'm going to not bother. So makes sense. It's brilliant. See, this is so logical, but we all falling into the trap the whole time. So that's how this works. So it's very easy for you to monitor. Have your action steps. And if you get and go, can do them. And if you keep on going, keep on going. And if you get stuck on one of them, you need to then find the steps below it. What's going to get you to that step? So run through your steps and in your mind, just try and think, do they look easy? One to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. Does it make sense to you first of all by looking at them? Okay, so that's the first thing we need to do. And you can apply this to anything in your life, you know, from getting up in the morning, doing yoga, finding a new job, you know, getting an exhibition organized. You know, you can really do this and make it easy. You know, spend some time actually getting your action steps first of all, so that otherwise you're wasting a lot of time and energy if you're getting it wrong. And then you end up just hitting your, you know, trying to jump up to a step you can't get to, and it's exhausting. Then you lose your motivation, of course, because you think you give up. It's all very logical, this. So you can apply this to anything. And now, you know, if you get stuck on one of those steps, you can just look at it and say, oh, okay, I need to now put some different ones in there. So now to make that more powerful, we're going to go to the body exercise. So that's the mind exercise, which is really making assumptions, what we think. But with the body one, we can make it more powerful, because it's all very easy, us talking. I mean, it's not easy. It was hard for us to talk about it and figure it out, but that was the easy part. The harder part is to make it happen. So to help us make it happen, we do the body exercise, which is body walking. And we do a physical walk. So you stand up, you take your paper with you, stand up somewhere at your bottom step. Where would your bottom step be in your room? You know, just pick your first step, wherever that would be. And that's the bottom, the first step. You're on the ground, ready to take your first step. And if you follow those steps, look all the way along to the end, like look at the very end where you're going to be walking to, one step at a time, and point in that direction, obviously. It's like, it always helps if we're pointing in the right direction. And then as you're walking along each step, look at your paper and kind of tune into how that feels as you get to each step. Notice how easy or difficult each one is. Maybe they'll feel very easy, and take your time, just go one step at a time and try to embody the sensations, how that feels. Look around you, look at the step you've just come from, you know, look at the step in front of you, and just have a sense. Does that feel okay? Is it, you know, comfortable enough for me to do, to take the next step? Or maybe there's a step in between, I don't know, but you have a feel into it. So you're not overthinking it, you're just kind of you're putting it into the body now, allowing the body to feel it a bit. Because that's what you're going to do in real life. You're going to take your body into the actual feelings of it. So you're having a practice now. And when you eventually get to the end, just stay there for a minute. And we'll let everyone just catch up. So you're at the top of your steps now. You're there, you're your symbol. You're in the light. Have a look around you. Notice what that feels like. Now you've reached your symbol. You know, you've reached determination, or you've reached motivation at the end of it. What's that feel like when you're at the end there? You've made it. And look back down those steps, you know, all those steps you've taken. You know, some were harder than others. Not yet, don't come back yet. Stay where you are. Just have a little feel into that. Look around. Notice how that feels in your symbol now. It's easy, isn't it? It's just easy. You're there. And then when you're ready, you go backwards, you step backwards into each step backwards. But again, step into each one and just feel into each step as you're walking backwards, back down the ladder. So back down the steps. You've had a practice run, in other words. Now you're just walking back down. Again, feeling into them, noticing how you feel. Maybe stepping, you know, maybe it feels sad because you're stepping away from your goal, where you want to be. And sometimes that can give you more motivation. Think, wow, I want to be there. I can't wait to start and get there. So this is all about getting it into the body, the sensations, how it feels in the body, those steps. Yeah. And if you're doing this as a practice, we're not really doing it as a deep practice now. We're doing it as a training. I always say this because if we want to do it as a practice, we need to spend more time on each of these processes for ourselves. Like I would suggest normally in each step, really kind of feel into it, you know, explore that step. You know, was it hard to get to? What is this step? Remind yourself what it is, what you'll be doing, what it looks like, and explore it a little bit more, because information will come to you when you do that exercise more deeply. But even so, it's powerful. How was that for you, Limor, doing those steps?
It was nice. I really enjoyed that.
How did you feel when you got to the top?
It was good because it's quite light and it's at the top of the stairs. So, and then I was thinking about having all my new clothes, like holding the bags with new clothes, like coming to my bedroom.
Nice.
Yeah, it feels positive.
And each step felt quite comfortable for you.
Yeah, it felt challenging. It wasn't easy, but it was like, you know, I've got my direction. I know I'm going to get new clothes. I might as well do it.
Yeah, that's nice. So if you can imagine in your real life before you did this, you know, number one, you're not clear about the steps before you maybe did this. Number two, it didn't feel comfortable anyway. So maybe that stopped you as well, because you experienced it now. It felt a bit uncomfortable. So, and that's not even doing it for real, right? It's just doing pretend steps. And even that can feel challenging, but doing it in real life is 10 times more challenging, perhaps. So that's why it's good to do the practice, to start making it feel, making the discomfort feel more comfortable, like getting used to it, in other words. If you did that again and again, you know, you get kind of, you get used to it. And then in real life, it becomes a little bit easier, kind of thing. So that's really good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? But
because for me, it's difficult to do my practice, you know, to do my acting. But it's every time like it seems like I'm starting fresh, new, and this is not good because I'm not familiarizing. But if I practice more often, then I familiarize myself with the characters, and it will become more natural, and so it won't be so difficult. But it seems like every time I was like starting from zero instead of like practicing, so I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it does kind of take,
because I don't like, the thing is, because I don't like, as an artist, I like to create from nothing, like every time again, to start something new. I like the idea of starting something new, but to practice, I'm not very good at this. I don't like it so much, because practice means like you have to repeat, and I don't like the idea of repeat. But I'm familiarize myself with the idea that if I want to progress, I need to repeat steps. So so that's the commitment and the discipline. This is something that I'm not familiar with.
Okay. And Nads, what about you? Anything for you?
Yeah, it felt actually really good and easy compared to on my paper, it looks quite confusing, but then when I did the steps, it felt just like very logical. Like you said, it just makes totally sense. And I think, yeah, of course, it's just so easy to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you know, there's a lot of other factors that stop us doing it. It's not just, you know, they're not always, what can I say? Sometimes they're hidden steps, let's say. So for example, it could be your past that's stopping you taking a step, something in your past. Like, for example, if you want to do something that needs courage, maybe you were bullied as a child and that fear is still with you. So that could be a step that might be a step needing to address before going further. Or it could be an emotional something. And maybe you haven't developed certain emotions like confidence, or, you know, maybe that's not natural for you. So therefore that would be a step, you know, to build the confidence. So there's always something, there's often things that are hidden. So they could be emotional steps, they could be or practical steps, they could be all kinds of steps, but there's definitely something always there if you're not getting to the next step. Really amazing, this process. It really is. And it's like, it's just doing this process. It's like, if you were going to learn to ride a bicycle like a little child, you know, you're going to teach a little child, you have to teach it through the steps. You can't just put the child on the bicycle. You know, it's just going to fall off and it won't want to get on the bicycle again. You know, it's just a stupid thing. It's like, you do it in steps until the child gets each step, you know, onto the next one, and then it's riding the bicycle. You know, to try and jump steps is stupid. It makes things harder or impossible sometimes. So, you know, just make sure you've got safe steps that you can take. You know, you wouldn't get the child to jump in the sea for the first time before learning to swim in a swimming pool, maybe. So, you know, you just make sure it's comfortable, it's easy. And by the time the child jumps in the sea, it's easy because the child's taken all the steps. It's already swum in the deep end of the pool. It's already had lots of practice. So to go in the sea, and it's already gone in the shallow end of the sea in the summer when it's warm, so it's comfortable. So by the time it's done all that, to jump in the sea in the cold weather isn't such a big step anymore. So, yeah. So it's kind of all about, yeah, about the practicing, but not really about the practicing. It's just about making the steps. That's all. It's not even about the practicing. It's just about actually making the steps easy enough so it's not difficult to do. You know, if you think about your body, like breathing, there's so many steps that's happening in the body. You know, the heart's pumping, you know, different muscles are working. Everything's working in the perfect order, you know, and everything's easy, like an engine, a car engine. You know, if you everything is making another part work easily. If one part was missing, you know, it wouldn't work properly, the engine, but it would struggle. It would struggle if something was missing, not doing its job. Let's say there was a step missing. So, but you put them all in the right order, everything's easy. Lovely. This is amazing. Okay, so the ritual for this one. The ritual's a great practice to train our mind and body to be able to do steps easily, right? The ritual is designed for this purpose. So the idea is you would hold your object, your symbol, like find an object to represent your symbol, only so you can connect to it, that's all. Remember, the point of the object is to help your mind and body connect to the word, to make it a bit more tangible, a bit more real, a bit more physical.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to, so first of all, just start, so counting in your mind, like 1, 2, 3, because that we're training our mind to count first of all. Well, it can count, of course, but we're getting it into the rhythm of counting. We're tuning into the rhythm of 1, 2, 3, 4. See, counting's amazing. You don't go 1, 5, 10, do you? You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything is in perfect order. You're training your mind to do everything in perfect steps, one after the other by counting. And then what you do is you now include, while you're counting, you can start again if you want or continue your counting, it doesn't matter. You can start including a body action, like a step. For example, when you do 1, you can move your body maybe 1. And then on 2, you do another movement. 3, another movement. 4, another movement. You're training your mind to coordinate with your body. So they're doing the same steps. So just do 1, movement. 2, another movement. 3, another movement. 4. It's weird, isn't it? Because I'm controlling the body in a way. It's like, oh, this feels weird. I'm like controlling myself. Yes, you are. You're aligning your mind and body to do the same thing in the same time, in the same order. And just carry on doing different numbers, carry on counting. And then I'm going to take you to another level, the final part, carry on doing it, but include your breath now. So make sure your breath is also included in the step, whether it's half a breath or a full breath, it doesn't matter, but you're including your breath in the movement as well. And this can be quite challenging sometimes as well. You'll notice if your breath and your body and your movement and your mind is together, doing the same thing in the same time, in the same order. It can feel a bit disjointed sometimes. It's a great practice to align everything together. It's actually quite hard work sometimes, this. See, it doesn't matter how fast or slow you do it, as long as you're doing them all in the same time. The breath 1. And it doesn't matter if you've got more than one movement in a movement, you can both hands or your whole body, as long as you're deciding that's one kind of action. So the action can be as complicated or as simple as you want it to be. It could be a very tiny action, or it could be like a much bigger kind of action. It could be 3 kind of movements together as one action. That doesn't mean you can't do that as well. But as long as you've got like a starting point and a stopping point in your mind, like 1, 2, 3, and just notice where it's stopping each step and starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting. Otherwise, if we try and blend them into one, it's not possible. We can't do one, climb the mountain in one step. There's always a starting and a stopping on this next step. And then we start again, and then we stop again, and then we start again, and we stop again. So it's kind of having that kind of feeling of stopping and starting each action. It's important to stop as well, because it's like reviewing. It gives us a moment to review, to decide what our next step is. So that's another really good practice of the ritual. It's training us to just review. And when we get practice in, we can do it very fast. You know, we can really become fast at this in our life. We can see clearly what our next step is each time without having to stand there for too long. But sometimes you need to wait. Sometimes you need to, because you're not sure what the next step is, you need to just wait and figure it out what it is and then take it. So that's a really good ritual to practice. As you can see, it's not easy. It's very simple, right? Very simple, but not. So how was that for you, Limor, doing that ritual? You only did it for a minute, but.
Yeah, it's just exercise, isn't it? It's just it's quite painful.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that's good, because by doing the rituals, you sometimes, because you're working with your body and your mind, so it's weird, isn't it? You suddenly notice that. I go, oh, I haven't noticed that all day. Now I realise there's something there. So they can really bring our awareness to things that's happening. And Nadine, how about you?
Excuse me. You unmute. Are you following?
Yeah, no, I was asking Nadine if she wanted to speak. You want to speak, Nads? Oh no, maybe not.
Nadine is frozen.
She's frozen a bit there. Yeah. Okay.
Your connection.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
What do you want to share, Nadine,
Your
about that?
connection or my connection?
What do you want to share, Nadine, about the ritual?
Connection is really bad, so I don't know if yeah, I just tried to say something. Yeah, I find it quite good because it makes you more aware of, because sometimes you're just like moving around, and with this counting it makes you more aware of every little movement, so I quite liked it.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, like I said, to begin with, it's like driving a car. You know, you're doing everything slowly, and you know, and then you do this. Eventually, it all becomes smooth. But actually, there are kind of points where you're, you know, it's not one movement, is it? It might look like it because it's very fast. There's not much stopping and starting. It's very fast. That's cool. Okay, so what's your key learning from this journey today?
Learning.
What's your one key learning? Your mind might feel a bit tired after this.